ABOs only. We don't have new people here. Hopefully, you didn't invite prospects to this meeting, but this is really for ABOs who are not just interested in shopping and saving money, but they're really eager and open to learn. And just give me a thumbs up if my sound is okay. You can hear me well before we proceed. Okay. Can you hear me well? All right. Yes. So again, congratulations for being a good student of the program, because this Amway business with the Network 21 system is not as obvious as it looks. It's really much deeper, and there is a science to it. No wonder there have been decades and decades of years of experience that go into the system. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that tonight. Talking to active ABOs is actually very exciting to me, because you're the guys who want to learn and you want to get on track and you want to climb the ladder of achievement and success. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So that's exciting. And later on, we're going to actually have a breakout group so you can maybe discuss more with your team, with your teams on what, anything confuse you or whatever it is that you'd like to discuss. So that's going to happen later. But before I start with the ladder of achievement, I'd like actually to call Ariel to cover something that's very important. There's a new culture that's happening. Of course, as you all know, we're all on lockdown and we're doing all our events on webinar, on Zoom or online. And there's a new culture, okay? And one of those cultures, of course, is something that's very, very important. That's the breakout rooms. So Ariel is going to talk to you for a few minutes about the power of the breakout rooms. I think you guys know the breakout rooms. You've been there. Okay, so without further ado, I'd like to turn you over first to Ariel, and then that's going back to me for the ladder of achievement. So welcome everybody. Okay, Ariel, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me well? Olive, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Olive, for allowing me to speak today. This is going to be a short one, but I was counseling with Mike Wilson. Maybe 2 to 4 times a month I do counsel with Mike. Ang schedule namin, our schedule is mga every Saturday evening. Of course, we and Olive and I talk a bit with Brian. And one of the things that Mike was emphasizing to me, and we've been trying to figure out during this new normal, this pandemic, is how to create a connection, personal connection, in building your business or in building your network, your community. We have, our process of meetings are probably unparalleled, especially in the Philippines. I think like in the Network 21 world, Mike is so proud of our team. We're making it happen. We have meetings every evening practically. We have 8 o'clock habit, and things are happening. And I attest to that because our businesses have been growing because of the online. However, for you to go to the next level, you need to find leaders, and for you to find leaders, you've got to create a community of friends. A leadership comes from a community of friends. There has to be a personal connection. If you think the it's just the meetings, well, the big meetings are a part of it, that will build your network. There's something lacking there. So then that's my experience. You need to be able, as a leader, the sooner that you find out that you need to build a connection with your active people, uh, the sooner that your network will grow. Now, here's the thing: you need to counsel, and who do you know? How do you know if the person is the right person to connect to? Well, the rule of thumb is you need to connect to new people and to your leaders. And here's the big question: how do I know if it's a leader? You need to ask upline, and and the way you find out who's the right guy to talk to. I mean, you need really to sit down your upline, or active upline, not upline that signed you up, but your upline who's who's making it happen, who's at least one or two levels higher than you, and that upline is core. And Olive's gonna talk about core tonight. So your next core upline should be able to tell you. Now, about connection in the breakout rooms. That is probably the first step outside of the plan and the invitation, that you need to make a connection with your downline. Now, so the breakout room is very critical, because that is where the relationship would start after the plan. Now they know it's Amway. Now they know it's Network 21. The breakout rooms really happens after the meeting. Okay? Now, so what is the purpose of the breakout room? Siguro ang tanong. There are four purposes. Actually, there are more, but these are the basic purposes. Number one, you want to connect. And I like to just go to the connect on a personal basis to the person. And we have an acronym called FORM. Notice your uplines will always talk about form. Mamaya, pag-uusapan natin. Not everything on form, but more or less one of those four, pag-uusapan na upline. Okay? Then the next purpose of the breakout is maybe to address some initial questions. Not all questions, just a few. Okay? And many times my experience is wala masyado kasi they're still investigating. But if they have questions like, how do I get the product, things like those you can address right away. The next one is the next steps. What are the next steps? And the last one is you need to edify. Okay? Very important, yung number 4. Do you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4? Not necessarily, but this is more or less the format. So the reason why we're having this talk is we would know our role in the breakout room. For best results, you want to be able to maximize the breakout room. The breakout room is not an additional meeting. The breakout room is to connect. That's the first reason. You want to connect. You want to connect the person to the team. Okay? And when I look at a person, and this is a little bit advanced Amway, I know in my mind I have 2 weeks. 2 weeks to be able to get him or her to like the team. 2 weeks. May 2 weeks ka. And 2 weeks to make things happen for that person. Okay, that from a process perspective. Now, let's talk about number 1. Number 1 is form, connect. You want the upline or the team to get to know them. Like if you're, example, you are let's say ang role mo is ikaw ang ano, you are one of the members of the breakout room and you brought a new prospect. Okay? Your role is to connect that person to the team, particularly to the upline. Not because the upline wants to, na siya ang papapil doon or no, nothing like that. Because you have about 2 weeks and the time is ticking to get that person to get to know the upline. And the upline will normally ask them form. Now, again, if you are the leader of the breakout room, okay, you need to know this in your mind form. You need to get to know that person. Get to know that person, the new person in the team. Okay? When you say a new person, it could be a person first-timer. It could be a second or third-timer. Okay? New person yon. Okay? Now, you want to know, let them talk about family, how many kids they have. Minsan, occupation. Minsan, inuuna ko yung occupation because that's a little bit easier to ask. No? So, you don't need to be like strict. Dapat F muna, tas O, tapos R. No. Sometimes I ask, oh, what do you do? Where do you work? Ganyan. Okay? just to get them at ease, because people would be comfortable if they let them talk about themselves. And guess what? One thing that I needed to change about myself, kasi I'm an engineer, although I'm a sanguine, I needed to be more focused not on me, but on the other person. I have to have a genuine interest on the new person. Oh, okay. Tatlo anak mo, okay, and you're from this place and all that. So you want to know their occupation, their family, how many kids do they have? Sabi nga sa akin ni Mike, do you know the name of their kids? Do you know the name of the husband or the spouse? Okay? That happens in another meeting. But during the meeting, you want them to at least get to know, oh, this guy is married, he has 3 kids, etc. Okay? And by the way, that is, as I speak to you, I speak to myself. Occupation, what do they do? Engineer pala to. Ito, he's a teacher. Okay? Principal o pastor to. Then, you may want, if magandang usapan, let's say, tatatlo kayo sa room, dadalawa lang kayo, no? And don't, sabi, but yung isang kabilang kwarto, 10 sila, 20 sila. Actually, mas mahirap na yung 20. But if you're like 2 or 3 in the room, it's good to talk about recreation. What do you do in your spare time? What do you like doing? Oh, I like biking. Like health buff ka pala. Oh, you should attend one of our meetings sa Sunday kasi si Dr. Roel will be talking about health, staying young. Yan. So it can be a connection somewhere. So family, occupation, recreation, message, or money. Okay, money. Are you really looking for a business? That's why they're there. Oh, open ka ba talaga sa business? Yeah. Why would you want a business? So I would ask questions. So form is about health buff ka pala. Oh, you should wala sa notes ko, pero yung open-ended ko. Let them speak. Ako, Ariel, baka matumagal yung, it's okay. Just let them speak a little bit about themselves. And guess what? When people talk about themselves, they feel right at home. Okay? Ang problema ko actually is, sometimes it's hard to get answers from people. Okay? But ask the question. Minsan they respond family, ask recreation, message. So you're in a way prospecting them in another level. So form. So in a breakout room, ito yung number 1 you want to connect on a personal basis. Don't try to answer all their questions. O anong tanong mo sa Amway? Oh, okay, sign up ka na. Teka. Okay, so that is, although you want them to sign up, okay, I would sometimes put up the website just to demonstrate to them I would promote that, but I don't do that all the time. But definitely what I want to do is to ask them questions about themselves. Okay ba? That's number 1. So the breakout room is for you to connect on a personal basis. Number 2, you can address initial questions and emphasis on initial. No? Now, here's the thing. If you have somebody guess, ang daming tanong, don't get discouraged. Okay? Because kung maraming tanong, tawag nila sa sales yan, buying signal yan. Buying signal. The reason why they're asking, okay, and there's a time when people really ask honestly, and they really want to know honestly, then, that's a good sign. So don't get discouraged. You want to address questions of new people. Sometimes their questions are very minor, but you have to treat each question like, wow, that's a really good question. Because when they're asking question, that's good. Kaya kahit anong question, I would say that's a good question. Kasi this is so I know when they start asking questions, that's good for us. That's good. Okay? Then the next reason why you want to handle that question is you want to model to your new ABO, yung mga bagong sign-up na nagdala, how I handle questions. It's not because I know how to handle, it's, the reason why I know how to handle questions because I watch Olive, and, dati daw si Ernie, handle questions for 23 years. So, and believe me, we've been through a lot. We've been through different types of people, okay? Silent people, not so silent, even violent people, gugulo. We know how to handle. And there is no magic to it. It's just, handling. So I want to model to, they ask questions, no big deal. And next one is third one is promote the tools and functions. When they ask me questions and they ask a lot of questions, and I would say that, do you really want to know the answer to all your questions? And they say yes. Okay, I'd like you to listen to a link that I will send you. Okay, listen to it very carefully. I will send you 3 links. Kaya importante nasa mobile app tayo so we can promote the tools kasi you want them to start listening to audio materials kasi ito yan. Once a person listens to 5 to 10 audio materials in their first week after they seen the plan, wow, you will not know, that person will at least be active for the next 3 to 6 months at the very least. Okay, yun ang aking experience. So you want them listening to the tools right away, audio material. Okay, you want them to get, okay pala to ah. Now, miski hindi mo alam kung anong lagay laman na, i-promote mo lang kasi karamihan doon, yung mga tanong naman, hindi naman talaga yun ang tanong nila eh. You know what, the real question, 95% according to Mitsala of people's concern. Itong concern nila, 95%. Isulat nyo to ha. What will my friends think if they find out I'm doing Amway? Yun lang yun. Karamihan yun. What will my friends think if they find out I'm doing Amway? And guess what? If they listen to materials of successful people, most of the time, those concerns will go away. Okay? Now, next. Number 3, promote the next meeting. Okay, number 3 is next. Ano ang next? Promote the next meeting. I normally promote the meeting next day. Okay, and I promote the live stream meeting. Ito like this Saturday. Promote that live stream meeting. You want them to promote the Network 21 mobile and sign up. Sign up. Mag-sign up ka na. Okay? Anong next step? It doesn't have to be all these bullets. Ano bang next step? Bukas may meeting tayo o mag-sign up ka na. Tapos pakinggan mo yung papadala ko sa'yo. Ganun lang kasimple. Of course, if they sign up, try mo na rin yung product. And sometimes I promote the personal launch, yung Zoom launch. Kasi normally when we have a Zoom launch, a new person will host a Zoom launch, I would promote to baka gusto nyo pumunta how a Zoom launch looks like. Kasi that you will get to have a feel, ano bang ginagawa namin when you're building the business. Okay, that's the next one. The last one, okay, last one. Edify. This is the most important. One of the most important. Outside 1 and 4 is very important. Kasi you forget 2 and 3, it's okay. Don't forget number 1 and number 4. Okay. Number 4 is to edify their host. Whoever invited them, edify them. The fact that they bought somebody in the preview that night or that meeting tonight, that person is on track. Kasi eto lang eh. Only 30% of people go Leaders Club in the business. So it's the failure to start. Do you know, and the statistics is probably less than half of those who've seen the plan actually invite a person to a meeting. So nasa top 50% na agad yung taong nag-invite. So you need to edify that person. Even if you don't know him personally that well, okay, you know what? You're right on track. And you need to edify who is the active upline. Yung new person, so i-edify mo. Now, if you are now the person who's bringing the host to the breakout room, you need to edify the breakout room. You cannot say, wag mo sabihin, hoy, you do not miss the breakout room. Dapat nandun tayo sa break. Pakikilala kita dun sa aking coach. Yung pinaka-senior namin dito. Hindi siya matanda, pero very successful siya and he can help us. I want you to meet Olive, okay? I want you to meet Ryan. I want you to meet Titus. I want you to meet, I want you to meet Jeng. I want you to meet, sino ba? Romina. I want you to meet, kung sino man. You want to edify the breakout room host. Okay? I-edify mo. So, if you are the person who's bringing a new person, please make sure you need to edify this person. Don't just edify the breakout room. Okay? Ano yung breakout room na yan? You need to meet Olive. Nako, napaka-successful niyan. You'll have a chance to be one-on-one with them. They won't interview, don't worry, but you need to meet this person. Very successful. Kasi you need to meet the team. We have a great team. O kasi ganito yan. If you try to promote Amway, then you will have to explain Amway. Ang hirap nun. Pero if you promote the team, the person will be curious with the team. Kasi if you don't promote the team, okay, and additional time, gabi na eh. Pero if you promote the team, you elevate them, okay, the team and the host of the breakout room, you apply nyo. Then, pag na-intrigue sila, they will start to listen. And guess what? The host of the breakout will tell your guest, you need to listen to June. June is right on track. He's building a big business. Okay? Totoo ba yun? Ika-umpisa ko pa lang. The fact that you're bringing people, you're starting to build a big business. So that's the truth. Okay? Promote the team. Then, you want them to have a confidence in their team. Guys, when you're in the breakout room, sabihin, you know what, this is the A team. You need to say you're with the best person. Totoo yan, the best person. Each best person is depende sa tao eh. The best person is the one who brought you in. So he's the best person to help you. Okay? And the last one, if you are the upline and you're the one bringing people in, you need to start believing in your prospect. Believe them that they'll do the right thing. Kasi when you start to believe in the person, they can do the right thing. Whether or not they'll build the business, you have a very positive attitude, very positive environment in your breakout room. Okay? So, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, connect, address questions, what are the next steps, and edify. Okay? With that, thank you, Olive. I'm okay. I'm done.
Okay, thank you so much, Ariel, for that wonderful wisdom. So it's great to hear from Ariel, who has so much experience. Like me, 24 years. So we just have to limit ourselves because when we talk talagang, we can go out of track with so many things we want to say about this new normal, which is meeting online. When we're having Bouncing Forward or No Borders or whatever event we are having online, I would encourage you to put positive chat notes because everybody can read what you're saying, and it creates the engagement of our group. It creates a positive environment because doing a meeting online is a very cold thing. It's cold. People are watching their computers. The more you put in a positive chat, the better. The more you open your video and show yourself, the better. There's more engagement, and you're attentive, you're reacting and all. So that's very important. When you have a breakout room, and Ariel covered that pretty well, and your upline suddenly pops into your room and you have guests there, it's very tense. The upline doesn't know who those people are, and those people don't know who we are, because not all the events have impact statements when we speak. So if that's your guest, oh, I'm so happy Ariel is here, and say a few words to develop the trust, to edify Ariel. And Ariel, I want you to meet so and so, and this is my guest, and then the trust goes up and the tension goes down. That's the thing. That's the magic in Amway with Network 21. It's positive talk, okay, and that always edifying everything. It doesn't mean, again, that there's nothing negative. You don't have to edify fake things that are not real. Let's be genuine. Let's have integrity. But when you look at the person and there's something positive about that person, that's what you talk about, And I like this person. He's very new, but he is such a good learner, unbelievable learner. And you can always find something positive, and that's what you focus. Don't overdo it, but it's got to be there. Now we're going to go now to very important Yeah. The breakout room is actually more effective when it's smaller. And so we are going, the smaller the group, the better. Because if the group is big, people don't open their videos, they don't engage. There's been some feedback. Yeah, you're right, Paul. Pag masyadong marami, 5 is cozy, but that means, I believe 5 is cozy. 5 to maybe 8 would be cozy. Pag mga 10, medyo others will be quiet. But you know what? We need to push the leadership to you. You've got to own your own breakout group, okay? Sooner or later, at a certain point, so that you can intimately engage with your friends. In the meantime, if you're not yet comfortable with it, then it's a case-to-case basis. So let's go now to the achievement. Now, I'm going to cover this because on Saturday, especially when you're new, you're going to be seeing this stuff and you may not understand what is this, what is that, what is that recognition, okay? So the ladder of achievement is actually both Amway and Network 21. There's a little bit of interplay here. Amway will only measure and recognize you based on two things, only two things. It's your volume and where the volume's coming from. That means this might be a little advanced, but the structure of your business has a lot to do with your profitability. And Amway recognizes structure. Okay, you'll understand that in a bit. Network 21, on the other hand, does not just recognize volume and structure. They recognize many other, we call it vital signs, okay? Metrics. That means that Network 21 is really more of a science that has been developed over, I would say, hundreds of years of experience combined. And that's why I like Network 21, because if you build a business with Network 21, you have a solid business that is a legacy business that you can pass on to generations. So not whether you want to earn a little or a lot, Amway provides the opportunity for you to succeed, but Network 21 shows you a path on how to do it. So let's look first at the ladder of achievement, and the first goal is core. What is core? Core is 7 habits, and I think I did a talk before in one of the foundations, and so this is like a little bit of an overlap, but we need to review core because this is very basic. Core is a decision. It doesn't depend on Amway, it doesn't depend on Network 21, it doesn't depend on any other person but you. Core is simply when you decide you're going to do the 7 habits that Diamond do. So we call this the 7 habits of Diamond. An 8-year-old can do it. It just takes a decision, but not just to do it, but to be constant about it, constantly doing what it takes to be successful. So let's look at core here now. There are 7 habits. You're a 15 planner. I'm not going to talk about how you become a 15 planner because you go back to whoever invited you. That's when you bring people to the events, when you show the plan one-on-one, when you host a launch party. You don't count how many people are in the launch party. That's just one. And that means you're talking to a new person every other day, or you're exposing this to a new person every other day, or 2 people a day, or you want to be a 15 planner. The 15 planner is where it all starts. Your business doesn't even launch, okay, unless you're a 15 planner. If your upline is doing the plans for you, it's not your business yet. No problem. You're warming up. The more you delay taking ownership and showing the business to people, doing your own one-on-one Zoom meetings, using videos or chatting with your friends, or even messenger calls, Viber calls, drawing on a piece of paper. The sooner you do that, the better, because your fear becomes so big when you've listened to a lot of different speakers and they're all good. They have a lot of input, and you're just so overwhelmed. You know what's going to work? Nothing works. Everything works and nothing works. Actually, you just need to do it. You just need to become a 15 planner. That's when your business takes off. If you're in the business for 6 months, a year, but you're not a 15 planner and you're not getting results, well, it's obvious. That's the number one requirement for core. And core is a habit of diamond. When I started, I did 40 plans a month for 18 months. I was totally sold out to this. Like nobody could stop me. I was unstoppable. And that really took me off. And that's a long, different story. But hey, you're just focused for a few months. You don't have to do this forever. Core is also 100% user. You've shifted everything, no brand X. You have 10 retail clients. Now we don't have retail clients, not unless you really want to service people and deliver product to them, because we're in a pandemic. But it could be a certain number of Amway exclusive shoppers, AES. Okay. And it could be 10, or I don't know what Network 21 is going to say, because this is a Network 21 requirement for core. It's not like this is the rule. What they did was to observe success all over the world, and this is the common denominator of successful people. They all subscribe to the N21 mobile, and they listen to audios every day, every day, every day. Like today, if you don't have the CEP, if you don't have the mobile app, you didn't hear the talks of wow, Amway was just 25 years old when Rich DeVos did this talks, and he is such a charismatic speaker. I was listening to the Four Winds, and I was listening to Try and Cry. And it's as if I wanted to pass this on to all of you so you could listen and understand the heart of Amway. That's what you get from the N21 mobile. You read from the recommended book, 15 minutes a day. My book sharing tomorrow is one of those books in the past. Attend all functions, and functions means this plus the Network 21 Connect and Network 21 Connect Plus, which is happening in October. And you are a system team player. What does that mean? If you attended last week, I talked about edification, no cross-lining, and counseling. If you do all of this, it's just a decision. You are core. And that is the number one goal. If you've been in this business for quite a bit, or you're new and you want results, and it's just that you have not decided to become core yet. That is the very beginning. Nothing launches. I'm telling you this. This is a work ethic that creates predictable success. So once you decide to be core, you can easily do every month, okay, Pacesetter. Pacesetter is not recognized in Network 21. It is a Network 21 achievement, but it is because of time constraints. It is not going to be recognized on Saturday. As you will observe, Saturday has a recognition portion, but we will recognize Pacesetter in the Team CCG recognition night every first Wednesday of the month. What is Pacesetter? It's a building block. Let's say you're building a house, which is platinum ship or emerald ship. Pacesetter is your building block. It involves 3 critical components. Number 1, you shop at least 100 points. Number 2, it actually promotes education, which is you are on the N21 mobile. Some of you are done with your free 30-day trial. By all means, subscribe. It's just 1,000 or something compared to having an education outside, an MBA, which will cost you hundreds of thousands. This is your MBA, Masters of Business in Amway. This is your PhD, person headed for diamond. So go ahead and subscribe. And the number three component of Paysetter is your sponsoring. These are critical components in building the business. Number one, you're creating volume in your own circle. Number two, you are connected to the education program. And number three, you are sponsoring. Because if you take out something, it feels like it's going to collapse. This is the building block. And you use Paysetter to achieve the first level of achievement. Okay, the first level, the first. Core is a decision. The next thing is Leaders Club. Being core and using Paysetter, you can actually become Leaders Club. It can happen in 30 days, even 60 days, up to 90 days. But it's got to be, okay, here's a secret, guys. Here's my secret of 24 years. Because we made a lot of mistakes. Those of us who started in 1997. You don't build business, you don't build the Amway business slow. You don't build it careful. You don't build it perfect. You do it fast and furious, and you don't think of the mistakes because mistakes are all learning experience. You throw mud on the wall, you face the rejection every single day, but you just keep on going, because if you try to build Amway slow, it does not work. It's like a plane taking off. It has to be at a certain speed, okay, in order to launch. If the plane is just very careful and just slowly warming up, it's just, hey, we love you anyway. I mean, hey, that's wonderful. You're warming up, but you don't launch. And some people can be warming up for 5 years. Okay. Why? Does it mean it's bad? No, maybe they're already happy. They have a great career. They're busy. They have other priorities. Not everybody wants a different kind of life. Not everybody is excited about their financial independence. And so, hey, launch into Leaders Club fast, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Because if you don't make it your right away goal, it's going to drag long. And guess what? It will duplicate in your group, because everything you do duplicates. When you're slow, your group is slow. When you sponsor a lot of people, your group will also follow you. When you're a 30 planner, your group will be a 15, 20 planner. They only follow you. So if you're just watching your group and actually not moving, then they're watching you and they're not moving too. So, hey, that's a secret of Amway. And Leaders Club is actually a Network 21 level. I'm telling you as it is, guys, because you're some of your veterans, some of you are new ones, and you've got to know what it takes to succeed. I mean, if you had a career, you sell out to your career. Some of your lawyers, doctors, professionals, you sold out to your career, didn't you? Didn't we all? The only thing is, chances are in this pandemic, that career is greatly affected by what's happening. And so we need to develop a second career. But again, it takes work, it takes focus, it takes effort. I mean, nothing of value happens overnight, and nothing of value is easy. It takes you going out of your comfort zone. So what does Leaders Club look like? And I believe I showed this before. That's what it looks like. This all happens within a 30-month period, or even a 60-month period. That's what my upline used to say. Let's not be so, you can do it in a 30-day or 60-day period, okay? 9% your core. You have 5 people in your group who's on the N21 mobile. And you know what? For new people, this is free for 30 days. It's the best way to go into the paid subscription. You have 10 people watching at the N21 Connect this Saturday. That's about 5 couples and husband and wife are watching, 5 personally sponsored, and 2 PV legs. That's more or less the structure. That can be done in one day. Actually, if you had a big home event, you'd be able to invite everybody to the N21 Connect. Everybody will get into, let's say you had 10 guests, 5 of them got into the N21 mobile. Those 5 attended the N21 Connect and brought their spouses. You sponsored 5 and they started to shop. You can do that in one day. Alam ko si David Dornan did that in one day, Leaders Club, because he had a big event. And again, this is going to happen when you do your launch events. Launch, I won't call it a party, but a launch event. The bigger the launch event, the better. So now, focus on Leaders Club. Because from Leaders Club until Founders Double Diamond, all the way up, it's just a matter of duplicating Leaders Club in your group, and your volume will grow. Your leadership will grow. The stability of your business will grow. This is a Network 21 level, which will be recognized on Saturday. Now, why is it important to do this? Because this is how Mike actually became silver in 3 months. Okay, he became Leaders Club very, very fast, maybe a month. And his group attending said, "How did you do that? I'll help you." So the next N21 Connect, he had 2 Leaders Club or 3, and it became bigger and bigger simply by him being the example first. And then people in his group watching him and saying, the right people will say, "I want to be Leaders Club too." So how do we do that? Oh, no problem. We're going to have 2 to 3 big launch events. We have no obstacles. We're on Zoom. We can talk to anybody in the Philippines, anyone in the world. There are no borders. Let's do it. And that thing can duplicate and duplicate and duplicate. So you will be recognized. Congratulations, you are new Leaders Club. The next thing is to elevate yourself between Leaders Club and Executive Leaders Club, and that's called Leaders Club Plus. This is also a Network 21 achievement, and this is going to be recognized on Saturday. Leaders Club Plus looks like this. You're at 12%. Your core, remember, core, you have 8 on the N21 mobile. You have 20 attending the N21 Connect, or let's say 10 couples. You sponsored 6 and you have 3 PV teams. Okay, so the structure should have another team with some downline. Anyway, 3 PV teams. What does that mean? You have 3 groups creating PV. That's all. And maybe one of them did 200 PV. So that is called Leaders Club Plus. Now, this is something you can do in 3 months, 4 months. The sooner, the better. I'm just telling you that these are goals you'd like to shoot for right away. Because if you're serious about getting results, you want to do it fast. It's like, again, riding a bike. You don't ride a bike and you say, "I want to ride a bike, but can I please just read a practice first in the manual?" No, there's no such thing. You need to get on the bike, and you can't say, "I want to learn how to ride a bike, but let's do it slowly because I'm afraid." The more you do it slowly, the more you're going to fall and the more you're going to get hurt. You do Amway fast so you don't feel the pain. You don't feel the rejection. That's what happened to me. When I was new, and I think it was the same with Titus and Ariel and some of the original pioneers, we were just talking to so many people so fast that we didn't even notice who was negative or who did not, whoever was negative. We just didn't have time to look back and cry our eyes out because they quit, or because we were just next, and we didn't understand what we were doing, but we were just following what the upline said go fast so you don't feel the pain. We just didn't have time to help everybody. And so the right people emerged. And when we look back, we looked at the people following us. Those were the ones who really wanted to build the business and were resilient and ready to ready to succeed. The next level is Executive Leaders Club. Maybe 4 months, 6 months. It depends on how fast you set the goal and how focused you are. Executive Leaders Club looks like this. You have, didn't I say, the business is you go LC, then you help other people go LC. Executive Leaders Club is simply 3 leaders club or 4. You have 2 or 3 legs teams with leaders club, and you are at 15% your core. There you go. You can just read it. 30 on the N21 Connect, 3 PV legs. Okay. Now, again, your upline can help you with how to structure your group. This is what happens. I just want to tell you, when you have a real good one, you tend to stop sponsoring frontline. Okay. When you need to do pace setter every month until you do about 20. Okay, or more. That's the goal. So 10 months to sponsor 2 every month. So when you have a good one, you get distracted and you like celebrating this positive person and you forget to do this every month. Don't make that mistake. You'll end up with one big group. You'll be left behind. Because in our business, you don't have any real profitability when you have one big group. Don't make that mistake. Keep sponsoring. Another thing I see is that when people sponsor and they get rejected along the way, they begin to, what am I doing wrong? Am I saying the wrong words? And, maybe I should stop and I should evaluate what's happening. That doesn't work. You cannot psychoanalyze every single case and every single person who joins your business. Try to imagine this. You have a deck of cards and you're looking for the aces in the deck of cards, and you shuffle the cards. The aces are there. How many in a deck? 50 ba or 20? 52. The aces are there. You have 4 aces. You're looking for the 4 aces to go platinum. The aces are core leaders. And you shuffle the cards. Think of this. Imagine this. And some of you are going to get the ace at card number 12. Okay. What happens to most people, that's why they don't really succeed in Amway, is that they don't flip all the cards. At card number 7, they're wondering, how come I'm not finding the aces? And they're beginning to question, this is not going to work for me. Maybe this, maybe my job is great after all, and I don't need this. I've been rejected 7 times by my friends. Am I saying the wrong words? And you're beginning to second guess and doubt. And maybe this Network 21 thing, it's not true. Maybe this Amway, it's not going to be worth my time. I mean, I talked to my friends and all, and they said no. And they stop at card number 7. What if your ace shows up at card number 30, 35, 45, 48? And so along the way that you're getting rejected, it's like, it's not going to work. I can't find anybody. I signed them up, but they're not excited. They're not active. Keep going. Flip the cards. Work the numbers. This is a numbers business. So few people sponsor 20 within the first 10 months, okay? Or 6 months even, if you want. The faster, the better. That is the secret to keep sponsoring and reaching for these goals. Leaders Club Plus. Because if you're just running after the volume And something happens, the person who creates the volume, a few people, they have a bad attitude and they disappear. That's where your business goes down the drain. But if you develop them based on Leaders Club after Leaders Club after Leaders Club, wow, you're going to have a business that will pass on generations. So let's look what happens after Executive Leaders Club. Okay, the next is Silver. Congratulations. Now, Silver is also an Amway pin. So you can go Silver just by creating volume, and that's exciting too. But if you go Silver creating volume, understand it's a pin. You haven't built a group yet. The group takes core, Leaders Club, and duplicating. And that's a great level. You will be recognized. In fact, this is what Silver looks like. If we are going to follow the Network 21 system, Leaders Club is 7 to 10. I'm sorry, Silver is 7 to 10 Leaders Clubs in your group, positioned like this. As you can see, for the veterans, for those who are ahead, based on this structure, it's Leaders Club after Leaders Club after Leaders Club. And you already have the structure of Emerald. Okay, so I'm just reading some of the, yes, the right people are unstoppable. That's true, Matet. Keep going to find the aces, work the numbers. That's the secret. Yes, you got it, Jem. Okay, Dolly says, tama, tama. And, okay, so thank you for, I can't read all the comments, but now you're Silver. You're going to be recognized. Amway recognizes that too. But Network 21 wants you to continue on to go to the next level, which is not just Silver, but you'd like to go to, Gold. There we are, Gold. What is Gold? Wala na tayong slide for Gold, no? Okay, Gold is when you're Silver for 3 months. Remember, Silver is 7 to 10 Leaders Clubs. You just, Leaders Club, Leaders Club, Leaders Club. So the question is, when are you going Leaders Club, or who are you breaking Leaders Club? Okay, so now you do it 3 months, it's called Gold. The next is you do it 6 months, you're called Platinum. 3 of those months have to be consecutive, and they have to happen in an Amway in a rolling year, not necessarily fiscal year. Oh, we forgot a level there in between. It's called Founders Platinum. Founders Platinum is when you are at 21% every single month. So you might be wondering, how can I do that? Use the Amway, the Network 21 vital signs. We will have a meeting later on about the science of vital signs. But if you're building it based on Leaders Club structures, it will qualify every single month. In fact, now I'm not suggesting this, but in fact, you can even take a break. And, if you had 7 to 10 Leaders Clubs, your business is going to thrive even if you take a break. But again, be careful when you take breaks. Always counsel with your upline, because there's also a thing that happens in Amway that when you get distracted, your business falls back. So it's got to be solid before you take your eyes off. So that's the thing. It takes a focus and a constant. It's a constant priority. If you want to get to these levels, the Founders Platinum is the level where you begin to qualify for those all expense paid trips, and you make that 900,000 a year to 1 million a year. That's not bad. It's not a lot of money, but it is what it is. I mean, for some of you, you could give up your job, maybe bring home someone who's working abroad. Maybe your wife doesn't need to work and go out to work and face all these COVID risks out there. It's quite significant. Now, the real exciting thing is the travel, because it's only at Founders Platinum where you begin to qualify for these trips every year. If you don't have the structures I'm talking about, you might qualify for 6 months, but it might be hard for you to qualify every month and every year, and it will be difficult for you to go up the other levels that I'm going to show you with a larger income. So build it with Leaders Club structures and begin with you as a core. Okay, now you're platinum. Sapphire, you help 2 people in your team become platinum. So you see, this business is simple. You succeed, and then you help other people succeed too. You cannot go up the ladder of achievement unless you help the new people go up the ladder and succeed too. So it's a business of helping people. Okay. In fact, if this were a traditional business, I could, I could have a secret recipe, a secret sauce for my restaurant, and I'd never teach you about my secrets or how I became successful in my restaurant. Why would I teach you? You're going to be my competitor. What I loved about Amway with the Network 21 system is that all the secrets are taught to you, are through your line of support, that's us, through Network 21, and even Amway, the product part. And see, we want you to be successful. The more successful you are, the better for us. Your success is our success. You go Leaders Club, you help others go Leaders Club, you go platinum, you're traveling now, help other people travel with you. When you help 2, you're called a sapphire. When you help 3, you're called an emerald. And an emerald is something that makes about 4 million average that fiscal year, 4 million, not high, not low, average. Wow. I mean, that is quite significant income. Am I right? Maybe it's more of the Founders Emerald, not just the Emerald. The difference between Emerald, when you see Founders, that is, you qualify at that level every month. So Founders Platinum is your platinum every month, not just 6 months in a fiscal year. Emerald is you have that structure. You help 3 people become platinum 6 months in a fiscal year. A Founders Emerald is those 3 people are qualifying at platinum every single month for the whole fiscal year. By the way, starting with Sapphire, Emerald, and beyond, the achievement has to be done within the Amway fiscal year. The fiscal year ends this month, and the new fiscal year qualification for trips, for example, will start next month in September. So now you're Founders Emerald, making 3-4 million a month. And the thing about Amway is there's no limit. If you help 6 people become platinum in a fiscal year, you're called a diamond. Okay? If you help 6 people go Founders Platinum, meaning every month for the whole year, you have 6 teams at the top of the bracket, at the top of the income bracket, the top of the bonus scale, you're called a Founders Diamond. Diamond and above are very prestigious levels. Okay, we'll get there. It's the Founders Diamond that makes about 6 million based on average last year in the Philippines. Okay, plus another exciting trip. These are the Alaska trips, the Egypt trips, the Europe trips, etc., etc. They're phenomenal cruises. And I don't know about you, but money can be made in many ways. But the trips, even if you had the money, I don't know if you're going to splurge it on business class trips, going to wonderful places all over the planet and staying in 5-star hotels, eating in the finest restaurants of those cities, and feel like you're some kind of royalty because they treat you like you're royalty. I'm telling you, you feel so good that you have achieved. There's also something about the emerald level towards the diamond and beyond. If you would like to speak, you can be invited to speak and share your story and teach based on the Network 21 principles in many countries all over the world. And Ariel and I have had, and Ryan and Ambek have had the privilege, the honor to speak on a Network 21 stage in many cities. Okay. The last one I did was before the lockdown, and that was in Mumbai, India. We had a week, a success day. And again, hey, if you don't like to speak, you're terrified by public speaking, you don't need to speak. You can always turn it down. Okay, it's a special invitation. But when they pay you thousands of dollars to speak, I'm not going to tell you the amount. Plus, you fly and you're able to extend your trip. You can after the speaking, you can visit the city, you can tour around on your own, you can bring your family if you want to because they're paying anyway for your ticket and you have a speaking fee. Then if you'd like that, then you're motivated enough to overcome your fear of public speaking. I know many of you would like to speak, but you need to earn it. But that's one of the privileges. Like my mentor, Mike Wilson, oh my, he speaks everywhere. He speaks in all over Europe. He speaks to 50,000 people in an arena in Russia. And he's such a sought after speaker. And you will see that when you meet Mike in N21 Connect on Saturday, because Mike is such a philosophical, straight from the heart, emotional, real, no walls, no trying to pretend. It's just him and his heart. So now you'd like to be Executive Diamond. That's 9 people personally sponsored by you who go platinum. Founders Executive Diamond, that's every month they qualify. Double Diamond, 12 teams at 21% and platinum. Triple Diamond, okay? Crown. What's higher than crown? Ayan, na-confused na ako. Anyway, double crown. Guys, there is no limit to the number of people you can help become platinum, and there is no limit to the income that you can make. It is a limitless business model. It just depends on how hard you're willing to work and your time frame. But know this, if you build a business to diamond and then you get tired of it, it is a legacy business. You can pass it on to the second generation. Like Ryan is now my partner, so I see the future through his eyes. And he doesn't have to start, the second generation doesn't have to start from core. They start from where you left off. And they do what they want with the business in their lifetime. And they can enjoy the trips. Your children will be enjoying the trips. So let's say you've been to Sydney 5 times. You don't want to see Sydney, Australia anymore, because I've been to Sydney quite a number of times, I think 4 times. And you don't want to see Sydney anymore, maybe. And your child has taken over the business and they can see Sydney. They can travel the world. They haven't seen what you've seen. So they can build it to founders, Executive Diamond, on and on and on. And Amway has not put a limit to the kind of income that you can make. It's not like, oh my, Amway doesn't say, oh my, Somebody achieved Triple Crown. I think we should change the plan because that's too much money to be paid. They never changed the plan. They, no matter what you achieve, they pay you what you achieve. Now, I'm not going to talk about the profitability and everything else, but these are the levels that you're looking forward to and that you can achieve. I have a founder's diamond pin, and hey, and Ariel has Ariel and Ambek, they have a diamond pin. And you know what? To all of you, you are welcome to overtake us anytime. Because in this business, you can achieve more than me. It doesn't mean that I will forever be founders. You can, I help 6, you can help 9, and you can be executive diamond. That's a more successful and higher pin. So you can overtake us anytime. Yeah. And I'm getting feedback from Matet and Crown Ambassador Yes Cherise. Okay. And many, of course, dream about speaking in the Network 21 stage, and on and on and on. I know we're going to do a breakout room in a bit, but let me just tell you a quick story about speaking on stage, because I can tell you so many stories about how we were actually moved to tears being on stage and being recognized by everybody in the audience. One time I attended a weekend seminar in Washington, D.C. That was quite long ago. I was not a speaker. I was just a guest, because I'm somebody who loves to be around successful people, not because of anything, but because their success inspires me, and I get infected by their, it's contagious, their excitement. So Ryan was studying in Fordham at the time. So he was in school. So we took a bus to attend a weekend seminar in Washington, D.C. Wow, the center of government. But I wasn't there to look at the White House. I was there to attend a weekend seminar like the N21 Connect Plus that's happening online in October. When they knew I was there and I just achieved the diamond pin, Network 21 slipped a note under my door, because you stay in the same hotel where the event is. And that when I opened the note, it said, Olive, Jim Dornan wants you to speak in the opening of Saturday. Just speak for 30 minutes, tell them your story. Okay. I mean, how can you say no to Network 21 and to Jim? So the next morning, I tried to, calm myself, because this is North America. These are the diamonds of North America. This is Jim Dornan and Nancy Dornan in the audience. So, anybody would get the jitters. And that's what I can say about speaking. You do it. To overcome your fear, you do it. There is nothing that extinguishes fear as much as doing it. That's the only solution I know. And so that morning, they told us to sit in front, because I had a diamond. I just achieved diamond. And I told my story. And I just told my story, the usual story. And I went down the stage, and lo and behold, in the foot of the stage, there were lots of people, including Filipinos, who were just congratulating me. Oh, thank you so much, Olive. You made a difference. Thank you for coming to North America. And everyone was just hugging me and shaking my hand. And Ryan was a student, and he was wondering what in the world is going on. Because he didn't understand the business then. He just saw that people were congratulating me. And then I went to my seat. The rest of the weekend, as I was walking around the hotel, people would stop me in the hall and say, Olive, they shake my hand. Thank you so much. You made a difference coming here to North America. We love your story. And that line kept on going and going in the elevator, in the event. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm so touched. I just talked for 30 minutes and told my story. And everybody's, wow, that's Network 21. And then Ryan decided to eat in this strange restaurant. And what kind of restaurant was it? Afghanistan restaurant. Okay. So we go there, and there's nobody in the in the restaurant. We stay in the corner, and Ryan, we have peace and quiet here. There are no ABOs here. We can eat. And you know what? In a few minutes, somebody with a baby in a carriage and a wife, the family approaches me in our table and says, Olive, we were at the convention and we heard your story, and we want to say thank you so much. You touched our hearts. And oh yeah. Then we decided to go to church. And we were in church, and sabi ko, baka wala namang ABOs dito because there were only a few people. And yeah, it didn't seem like there was anybody. There were just a few people. But at the end of the mass, we stepped out of the church, and there was a whole family with babies and Lola, and they were there waiting for us to go out of the church. And they were like, thank you so much, Olive, for coming to North America and telling your story. And they were gushing, and Ryan was like in the middle, like, what's going on? What did she do? Anyway, so this happened the whole weekend, and then finally we were on our way. We took the subway to the bus station. We were going to take our bus back to New York. That's like 2 hours, Washington, D.C. and New York. And I said, this is the subway. This is a crowded place. Obviously, there are no more ABOs here. And for sure, very far from the venue, we're in this subway, and somebody across the crowded subway shouts in front of, in the midst of so many other people, Olive, we were at the convention. Thank you so much for coming. And we loved your story. On and on and on. And those are memories. I could tell you story after story. I'm sure Ariel and Ambek have those stories too. But I challenge you with this. You are writing your story. And one day, Network 21 will invite you to speak and tell your story. And the more you struggle, the better your story will be. Nobody wants to hear a story without a struggle. That's boring. So, with that ending, I would like to break out into groups. So, Ryan, take over the breakout. John will break us out. Okay. So, see you at the breakout rooms. Thank you. God bless. Stay safe, everybody.
Breakout room 7.
Mm-hmm.